Okay, well, I guess there's a part 2, because I just got a call from my dad. And guess what he said? You'll never believe it. I fucking hate his work. He has his job, and he's basically a government contractor, and he's one of the most qualified people in his unit, and like everyone else is like, I mean, they have the experience for the job, but they're not actually like qualified for the jobs that they have. But like they think they're qualified, so they're all arrogant and like, bitch, I have this job because I'm qualified, and they think they're better than my dad because my dad is kind of new-ish, and my dad is just like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, I am the bitch here. I'm the main bitch. Like, I got this shit. Like, he's the only real one who's like actually qualified for that job. He's so qualified for his job there as a government contractor that he could work not only in his unit, but he could work in all of the units in that like contracting position. But like, he doesn't really want to work at anything else other than the job that he has, aside from the annoying ass people. And I was like, that sounds familiar. That sounds just like my journalism thing, except for the last journalism I had was okay, but like, whatever. It's just really annoying. And they're just like, he has this like little rental thing that he had, like, he used to rent out his cars because my dad went through this like weird phase where it was really weird. He like basically like it was right when he had his first like pay raise, and he was like, oh my god, I have so much money, like, oh my god. I think it was like the first like couple months when he had his government contractor job, and that job pays really, really well because like government contractor, you know, bringing in the dough. Plus he was doing his military stuff, which was at even more money, so he had a lot of money. And so he was all excited about that, and he was like, you know what, I need a new car. And then he got that new car, and then he was like, but I need another car to commute, so I'm gonna buy another car to commute. And then he was like, he bought another car, and then another car, and then he ended up having like 5 cars, like, no joke. Like, he had his original car, and then he had like another car, and then he had another car, and then he had another, oh my bad, 4 cars, whatever, fine. And then he was like, I don't need all these cars. And I was like, no shit, Dad, I told you that from the beginning. But he was just like, no, I have these cars for a reason, like, manly, whatever. And I was just like, okay, whatever, Dad, just do your thing and waste your money, whatever. I mean, he can afford it, but it's really stupid. My dad, I love my dad, but he's not the best saver, like, at all, which I shouldn't talk because I'm not the best saver, but like, my dad is like really bad at it. Like, he thinks he saves stuff, but like the amount of stuff that he buys, even if it is a good deal, it's just like, it makes it not a good deal because he just buys so much of it. And so like, so he's like the illusion he has got a deal, and then just like, it's not, just waste money like all the time because he's a shopaholic. I mean, I love my dad, but he's a genuine shopaholic. Like, he shops constantly. And so he bought all these cars, and like was like, I don't need all these cars. And he was like, I'm gonna rent a car. And I was like, okay, fine. And then he did not go about it that well though. He went on an app and rented out his cars on an app. Questionable, yes, somehow it worked, but I was always very kind of doubtful of it because, like, I mean, yes, Uber works, but it's because it's like, and even then there are very sketchy people on Uber, so like, I don't always trust Uber. Like, sometimes I know this is terrible, but like, sometimes I'll like click on it, and then if the person that I see, like the profile picture that I don't like they look like really sketchy, weird, I'm just like, nope, I ain't doing that. Or like, I don't know, but like, sometimes like just certain Ubers, I'm just like, no, I'm not okay, comfortable with that. And like, but like, Uber is generally okay. So like, cause like they're pretty strict with their whole thing. Like, you can't have a car over like 3 years, and then like, it has to be like regularly smogged. Like, they usually like do a driver's test for the drivers. They do like FBI almost security background checks on most drivers, supposedly. Like, yeah. So like, I trust Uber, but like no, not fully trust because it's an app. So like, how far am I gonna trust an app that's free? Like, you know. And so that's basically the thing that my dad did. But he, instead of trusting like himself, which you know you can defend yourself, a car can't defend itself because it's a fucking car, and it's like a lot of money, and like you're putting your car in the hands of people from an app. Like that does not sound that smart to me, anyways. But like, whatever, you do you. And so he did that, and he was renting out all his cars, and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm making more money! Like I'm so good at this," and I'm just like. Okay, Dad, you do you. I don't trust any of these people, but okay, you do you. Well, some of them are genuinely nice. Like, he would have me, like, deal with them sometimes when, like, he was really busy at work or something, and, like, he would have me deal with them. But then there was always, like, a few people who were like, okay, you're just a little bit weird. And, so... my dad was just like doing that, but then when he finally drew a straw was when plus he would tell me all these stories about people who would like scratch up his car, and I was like, well, no shit, Dad, it's not their actual car, they're not gonna give shit about your car, plus it's from an app, like they're gonna care even less. And so there was that. And then my dad kept complaining about like whenever they went to the Bay Area they would not pay the fees. And then the app, I can't even remember what it was called, but it would like charge my dad for like their tickets. Like they would get the tickets, but because it was under my dad's car, he would get the tickets delivered to his house, and he would be like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not mine. Like, back the fuck off. Like, this clearly not mine. I can like vouch, and like some other people can vouch that like. Or, like, the app, like, showed that, like, the car was literally, like, being rented, and that he wasn't the one driving the car when I got the ticket. And he was like, yo, this app is dumb. Like, boy, like, what the fuck? And then, so, he sent, like, multiple videos, blah, blah, blah. I mean, not videos, emails and stuff, telling them about that. And then, like, Dad was like, yeah, sure, we'll definitely do it. And then, like, they never did anything about it. And my dad always complained about it, but then... he usually got them to pay, but sometimes he would have to pay, and he would get really, really mad about it. And I was just like, oh, what do you expect, Dad? Like, this is an app. Like, it's not, like, guaranteed. And, like, for me personally, if I, like, had that happen once to me, and, like, they didn't do it, I would just stop using it. But my dad continued to use it. Because my dad is a dumbass. I mean, he's a lovable dumbass because he's my dad, but, like, he's a dumbass. Like, boy, like, you're dumb. Like... okay, but like, and then I knew that this might happen. Like, it was a fear in the back of my mind that one of his cars might get stolen. Oh, and guess what? One of his cars got stolen. And it was his Mercedes. One of his, like, oh my god, this is one of the cars that I've always wanted since I was a kid. It's a super nice car. I need this car because I have all this money now. I can get this car. And so he bought the Mercedes, and he was like, ooh, it's so pretty. And even when because I was there with him when he bought it, and I was like, this is nice. It's a really nice ride. The radio, like, the radio in that car just, like, honey, and then just, like, it looks so beautiful. And, like, I can understand why he would want to buy it. But, and it did ride. The ride is so good, though. And, like, you can see, and just, like, Mercedes, just, like, but, like, way too expensive. Like, girl, like, your expensive taste need to stop right now. Halt, motion, right now. And it was a Mercedes-Benz, just in case you were wondering. It wasn't, like, one of those, like, weird, I mean, Mercedes SUVs look okay, but they're not the best. Like, I feel like California went through, like, this weird little SUV phase. Like, everyone wanted an SUV, and I was just like, why? Like, we live in California. You don't need an SUV. I mean, aside from, like, road trips. But, I mean, like, California is not really needed for an SUV. But for some reason, we went through the phase, like, SUV. And now it's a white car phase, because... I mean, I get it, white cars are nice, but, like, you have to wash them constantly and just, like, whatever. And then, so, my dad's Mercedes got stolen. Sorry, I just totally got off track. And he was running it out, and it got stolen, and he got mad, as you can imagine. And then, he had like special plates. Like, I don't know if you know, but like there's they're not new, but like there's these like plates that have been like on trend recently too. God, I hate that word. Those two words together, on trend, they just sound terrible to me. Like, girl, stop. Okay, but like they're on trend. Okay, but like it was a license plate, but it's black, and then it has like yellow writing on it. And so my dad had one of those, and he had like custom, like written. I think I don't know. He like had like custom, like made. Like, you know how people like put weird shit, like custom made like license plate instead of just like the numbers. He had that, and the person who it was on the Mercedes, and the person who stole the Mercedes like still had it and was driving it around like no big deal. Like, I still got those license plate on that are like very distinctive and like very like original and like very like no one has these this license plate, and they were like driving around a different country. I mean, not different country, different state. So it was California license plate. Number one. Number two, it was a distinctive black and yellow, and then number three, it was the special like license plate, and they were just like driving around like casually on the road, and I was like, you're dumb. And it still took the police like 3 weeks to find them, but like whatever. And they found them, and they like were arrested and stuff, and like that's handled. But like my dad got the Mercedes back, and it's really bad because like the Mercedes needed like special gas, which of course the cheap fucks who like stole the car did not care about that, and they totally trashed the car. I think they stole the radio too or something. And so like his car is like fucking fucked. Okay, it's like fuckity fucked. Like, there's no bringing the car back. Like, it's fucked. And so he put it, like, they brought it to the Mercedes dealer, and the Mercedes dealer was like, yeah, we're gonna take care of it, we're gonna take care of it. But they let the car sit there. It's been like months now, and they let the car sit there, and it hasn't, like, nothing has happened to the car at all. Like, they haven't even started it, and started on anything for the car. And they were even saying, like, we don't need an engine check, which, like, if you don't know anything about cars, which my knowledge about cars is limited, but I know the basics. Like, I know how to put oil, I know how to change oil, I know how to fill a tire, I know how to, what's it called, jumpstart a car. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I know some basic stuff about cars. And so what, like, if you don't know, like, if your car needs like a certain type of gas, like premium gas, and you put regular gas in it, it'll like destroy the engine because the gears aren't worked. Like, they need special lubricant. Like, they can't just have regular gas. It needs like more, because otherwise it's gonna be too thin and like grate the gears, I think, something along those lines. And so it ruined the engine, and my dad knows that because like they didn't use proper gas. And so he was telling the Mercedes that like it's like more than, like, he's like, I'm 100% positive. Like, but I can't say I'm 100% positive because, like, you'll be like, bitch, you can't be 100% positive because you don't know for sure. But, like, we're fucking sure, okay? They're cheap ass fucks. Who, like, didn't use proper gas, more than likely. Like, positive. They didn't use proper gas. And so the engine is probably fucked, as well as the outside exterior of the car, and also the radio and shit and whatever. And so he was telling the guy, before it works on the body, the Mercedes body, and anything else, it needs to check the engine, because he wants the Mercedes fixed so he can fix it up and then sell it, because he's been like, once he like, he still doesn't think his little shopping spree with the cars was a mistake, but he's like selling them all, but he doesn't think it's a mistake. He doesn't think the renting app was a mistake either, because it so-called made him a bunch of money too, my dad. And I'm just like, Dad, no. Like, you've had how many bills that were wrongly paid for, and that the app didn't even give a shit about, and then your Mercedes got stolen and is fucked up, and like the Mercedes dealer still hasn't worked on it yet, and you still need to fix that before he leaves for Honduras. And he's just like stressing out about that, and he's stressing out about his work too, because at his work he's like the head people, but like the other little arrogant little minions think they're like better than him because he's new and they're older in the company or whatever. But then recently the company changed, like they like the contract, like the company, like it's weird to explain, but like the company has like a 5 or 6 year contract, I think, and then it moves on to a different company. And so this year they switched companies, and so this new company is like having everyone like fill out resumes and like turn in their resumes and like do all this stuff. So they're basically like either rehiring or firing the people from the last company. And so my dad knows that he'll have a job there because he's like so like qualified. If anything, he's like overly qualified, and so he knows he'll have a job there. He just like doesn't know if he wants it because this like little area is like his job is like in Dublin, like Dublin area, not Dublin Bay Area, California, not what's it called, Ireland. As cool as that would be, no. And so Dublin is super far away, and my dad has to get up at like literally 4 a.m. every morning to drive over there, and then he's dealing with the stress of the stupid Mercedes and the whole rental situation, and then he's dealing with the stress of his job and like the resumes and like the work, and then so he's been dealing with that, and he's been constantly like stressed about work and stuff, and he's always like, it's almost a daily occurrence that like one of us will call each other and we'll just like rant about our day. And so he recently like just called me like literally after I made that first video, after I was crying, and it's kind of embarrassing because I was like still kind of crying a little bit, and like my dad called and I had to like fake I was happy. I was like, hi Dad, hi. Like what the fuck, I'm not a good liar. And I could tell he thought something was wrong, but like he just kind of was like, okay, whatever, and just like moved on. And I was like, thank God, like he doesn't need to know I was crying. Like what the fuck, let alone over him. Like goddamn, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. But then he told me that again, that weird eyebrow raise, like I swear it's so weird. He told me that he's not gonna be able to make it this weekend because he's so busy with the resumes and everything, and the company is like keeping him there. Like he literally said like the past 3 days he hasn't changed his clothes because he's been like living at a hotel and he hasn't gone home at all because he's been going to work every day, and like so much that he can't drive back home. And it's just insane to me that they're overworking him so much, and it's just like, can you not see like how much stress you're putting on my father? Like not okay, like not okay, you're not good. And you're just like, it's stopping my dad from like hanging out with me and my grandma and like just like taking care of us as well. It's not just like his life is not just primarily about work, and it's just very like hard to deal with. Like, and here I am tearing up again. Hello, welcome to my life. Goddamn. Okay, before the real waterworks start going, I'm gonna like end this video because like you don't need to see 2 videos of me crying in a row. It's fucked up how like just like it's so hectic with my dad right now, and how stressed he is and how stressed I am, and just it doesn't work, and we just can't have like make time for each other and like spend time together right before he leaves for Honduras for 9 fucking months. Like it's not okay. Like world, what the fuck do you have against me right now? Like I will fucking fight you. Like kill me. Like goddamn. Like do you want me to like take out my katana? I mean, I don't have a katana. I wish I had a katana, like, because that would be fucking epic. But, like, I don't. So, like, but I will fight you with my bare fist. Like, bitch, like, fight me. Like, what will it take for me to have some quality time with my dad? Like, because, like, 2 days is not enough, let alone the 2 days that were just taken away from me that were not enough. And I'm just, like, pissed and angry and, like, bitch, stop. Please. I'm, like, so done. And then, like... so done. So fucking done with life right now. Just like, please stop. Like, I need a break. My dad and I need a break. Like, we just, please. But it's just not happening. And it's I keep thinking about all the time we spent together and how much I would, like, had my little bratty moments with him. And, like, the last time we spent together was shopping. And I hate shopping. And, like, I was a bitch to him because I hate shopping. And I just, like, regret that because, like, I love my dad, and I wanted to have fun with my dad, and, like, I was a bitch to him because I hate shopping, and, like, we were doing shopping for both of us, and I was just, like, a bitch to him because I hate shopping, and it's like it's like fucked up because the last memory I'm gonna have with my dad right now is gonna be me being a bitch to him while we were shopping because I was mad about us shopping, and I was just like, I don't want to shop right now, and I just like, bitch, shut the fuck up, no one cares, and like, I'm just mad at myself and mad at the world, and like, everything can just die, please, thank you. I'm done. So done. But I'm just gonna keep a smile on my face because it's what brings me through the fucking day. So, like, here we go. Bye.